Hi, lovely Toeic students, lovely English learners. Let's get started because we are going to look at a very difficult Toeic reading question today. And of course, we're going to find out how to answer it. So let's get started by looking at the question. Here it is. All right, so this is a very tricky question. And my answer might not satisfy all people, but I'll do my best to explain this one. First, we need to understand the statement clearly. So let's make it simple. There is a requirement for the competition. The requirement is that all people need to wear a helmet. It is on the registration form. So, and a requirement is something you must do or something you need. For example, someone requires a driver's license to drive in the country. So, a driver's license is a requirement to drive. A common form with requirement is something is a requirement for someone to verb. A passport is a requirement for someone to get on an international flight. So, now that we understand the basics, we can look at what we need in the blank. Now, before the blank, we have that. And that is describing the requirement. This is a relative clause. Some people call it an adjective clause. That describes requirement here, not the competition. An example of a relative clause could be, it is a requirement that I oppose. Here, requirement is the object. I oppose the requirement. Or, it is a requirement that helps keep people safer. Here, requirement or that is the subject. But in both these relative clauses, you need a verb. In a relative clause, you must have a verb. So in this sentence, we need a verb. We can see in A, there is no verb. We just have clear statement. Clear statement is a noun. For example, he made a clear statement. So we know we need a verb, so let's eliminate A. Next, eliminate D. Why? Well, the main reason is simple. Adverbs versus adjectives. It was a clear statement. Here, clear is describing statement. It is an adjective. It is describing a noun. But if I say, he stated clear, that would be incorrect. I need to say, he stated clearly, because this is describing state. This is describing the verb. This is an adverb, like he states clearly, he runs quickly, he talks quietly. This is describing the action. So because we can see in C, there is no ly after clear, this could not be correct. So we eliminate C. So now what we have is we have B and D, and this is where it gets a little difficult. Let's think about how we can get this. Does this sound strange or normal to you? When I was talking to my friend, he stated. Sounds strange, right? Well, it sounds strange because state is a transitive verb. It needs an object. For example, he stated his goals. He stated what his goals were. He stated that he wanted to finish college and work with special needs children. But we can make it passive. For example, his goals were stated. Notice the be verb. His goals were stated, and if we want, we could say by him, but this is passive voice. What his goals were stated. So, we know that state is a transitive verb. It needs an object. That's the main point. State needs an object. A transitive verb is a verb, as I said, that needs an object. Some examples are right here. These are transitive verbs. So let's go back to the question. Let's look at the relative clause again. If I put that clearly states on the registration form, there's no object after states. However, if I put that is clearly stated, this is passive, so we're saying someone stated that. Remember, That equals the requirement. Someone stated the requirement. So this is strange. The requirement clearly states. What does it state? Someone clearly states the requirement. That's correct, because you have an object. The requirement is clearly stated by someone. You still have an object, because this is passive voice. So here we can see that to get this answer, you need to know that state is a transitive verb. It cannot be D because we do not have an object in this relative clause. But it can be B because this is passive voice, so we're saying someone stated the requirement on the registration form. The requirement is clearly stated on the registration form. So the best answer is B, and it's because state needs an object. All right, this was not an easy question. A lot of people have difficulty with this. The main focus is transitive verbs, knowing that state needs an object, and also understanding relative clauses and passive voice. All right, I hope you learned something. Please like, share, subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.